Hello, everybody. I hope that you're all very, very well. It's been a few weeks since I have put out a YouTube video, and I just wanted to connect back in with you all and to see how you're doing. I am doing very well. I took some time off just for myself and to feel into my work and what I'm doing and how I want to do it and what felt important for me and what are my priorities. And one of the things I wanted to go back to was my why. Why am I doing this work? I think we can get quite caught up in the doing, especially when we're self-employed and we're doing our passion work. We can sometimes become very connected to constantly like producing, creating, doing, and forgetting actually to have fun. Forgetting the fun of the work, forgetting the play of the work, and forgetting for me, I think, forgetting the why and kind of my why. One of my biggest whys of why I wanted to do this work was to honor the mystic, honor that part of me that is so comfortable in between worlds. I'm very, very comfortable not in this world, actually. I'm very, very comfortable in alternate realities and in other worlds, and I'm very comfortable being a bridge between the worlds and a medium. And I think sometimes in my work, especially in the more social media side of my work, like YouTube and the Facebooks and the Instagram and all that, I think sometimes in that work I can lose connection to that mystical side of myself as I'm trying to create different videos or putting different posts up on social media. And I don't want to be dishonoring or not honoring that deep feminine aspect of me, in the work that I put out in the world. And so I'm really feeling into how does that look for me going forward? Because for me, social media is amazing. YouTube is wonderful. All these social media sites are great, but for me, it's very much more a masculine energy. It's an outward energy. It's very much about doing. Whereas the feminine, that deep feminine mystery is about being and about being in the flow. And so when it comes to things like posting on social media, and especially here on YouTube, I feel like I want to go back more into the flow and to share more of my deep feminine self in these spaces, which is very sacred. And it's normally what I do behind closed doors. I brought you here now this evening into my prayer room, where I sit for at least 3 or 4 evenings per week singing, and drinking cacao and holding ceremony on my own. And it's where I feel really, really comfortable. So here I would sing and connect with my spirit guides. I connect with my ancestors. I connect with beings on the side, beings that are wanting maybe even help with moving forward, beings that are just wanting to communicate, beings that are needing healing. Also for myself, connecting to guides and spirit and receiving inspired messages. And singing and sound is one of the ways that I can feel the bridge being created between myself and the other world. And as I start singing, I can feel that door unlocking and a bridge being created between worlds. And it's something that I can't, one can't really explain that. It's just it's a mystery as to how that really works, that sound creating a passageway. And it's a really sacred and beautiful space to be in, and powerful space to be in. And then I find, like, sometimes then, coming onto YouTube or going onto social media, I'm kind of trying to honor myself and the work that I do, and I haven't quite found a way to do that in a way that truly brings this the mystic into that world of the masculine. I do believe that they can coexist, and it's just about finding. I think it's just about finding a good balance, and like a way that feels right for me. And so I've actually deleted my Instagram account. I felt it wasn't of value for me, and I felt like there was something, for me personally, there was something devaluing actually in going onto Instagram. I've been reflecting a lot about kind of where I came from 10 years ago and where I'm at now, and what's really been supportive for me over the years. Just simplifying. So I've deleted my Instagram account, and that feels really good. And I'm going to keep my YouTube and for now, and I'm going to keep my Facebook for now. I really enjoy Facebook. I enjoy the community on there. I really enjoy the community on YouTube as well. But I just want to make sure that I am honoring the work in everything that I do and everything that I put out there, and I'm not just churning material for the sake of it. So these YouTube videos are going to be a lot more in flow, and as and when, and and I'm just going to share whatever feels right to be shared at the time. And so today I wanted to share that and just touch base with you, and just to say I've had like a really amazing past few weeks, really amazing. I've been journeying with ayahuasca, and I always really am so grateful to the grandmother for the medicine that she brings for me, and the insights that she brings for me, and the healings that she brings for me. And it astounds me every single time, this intelligence of this medicine that can take you right deep into the core of your wound and of your issue. And she does it in such a fiercely compassionate way. It's a word that I'm wanting to embody. It's fierce compassion. Compassion that doesn't take you into codependence in any way or losing yourself. The compassion that is unattached, totally unattached, but holds a fierceness in it, a fierceness of love, a fierceness of truth, and that's how I feel the grandmother, the medicine, she holds this fierceness. She can be really, really dark. She'll come in and take you into your deeper shadows, and she can be this deepest, most wise, loving, compassionate grandmother simultaneously. And I've been working with her for about 2.5 years now. And I feel like she really does she's imbued in kind of the work that I do now, with one-on-one sessions, the healing sessions with people in person, where I can feel she kind of comes alive in that space. And I'm really grateful to be able to journey with her. I also did a sweat lodge, and in the sweat lodge, it was the second time that I've now been the medicine woman in the sweat lodge. So, and the medicine woman, so sitting next to the lodge keeper, and then I am the one that's a custodian of the medicine basket, and then putting medicine herbs and things on all the grandfather and grandmother rocks that are coming into that space. And then putting the herbs on, and then yeah, feeling the medicine from the herbs and the fire and the water and the rocks and everything. But being a medicine woman in the space of a sweat lodge is very different to just being a participant in the sweat lodge. And so the past couple of ones that I've been in, I have found particularly intense. In fact, the last one that I went to, I didn't know that I was going to be asked to be the medicine woman, and we were kind of queuing to go in. And I thought, yeah, I'm just going to kind of sit at the back because I really want like an easy or like a less intense lodge today. I just want to sit and kind of receive. And then he asked if I could be the medicine woman, and I was like, darn, I'm going to have to do this really intense work. Which was amazing, and it's a huge privilege to be able to do that. So I'm really, really grateful that I've had the opportunity to do that. But one thing I wanted to share about the sweat lodge is what happens in the sweat lodge for me is, especially as in the last 2 times where I've been this medicine woman, I get quite nervous. I get quite, I feel imposter syndrome, and I feel like me, I'm going to be this medicine woman, and am I going to do it right? Am I going to pick the right herbs? Am I going to know what to do? Am I going to miss a rock? Like all these thoughts, all this dialogue goes on in my head, this internal narrative of I'm not good enough, and oh my gosh. And for those of you who haven't been into a sweat lodge before, there are 4 rounds, and each round is about 30 minutes, maybe longer. And it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter. And the idea is basically that you go through some form of ego death. It's so hot you just can't hold on to your ego anymore. And anyway, so for me, like being the medicine woman in about round 3, so all this narrative is going on, and I'm like, oh God. And then by about round 3, it gets so hot that I don't have any heat in my body to be thinking anymore. And this is what the heat does for me. I don't know how other people experience it. I'd be interested to hear your comments below. But the heat gets so intense that I can't think anymore. And then all the masks start dripping off me. And I drop into this intense medicine woman from about round 3 to round 4. This intense medicine woman, she's there, and because that's just like, there's no ego there. There's this like depth of being that rises up through the heat into the space and takes over this entire being of mine, takes over my mind, and takes over any kind of ego narrative or talk that I have, and I'm sure that we all have at some points in our life. So yeah, I just wanted to share that because I think it's a really great metaphor for life as well, around, how much hot air are we using in are we using up? How much of our energy, how much of our heat are we using up in getting very hot talking about this? It's very interesting that the heat's just rising up in me now that I'm speaking about this. And how much internal narrative, this kind of ego narrative that we have, this mind is taking up all of our heat in our body, our power in our body. And yeah, it becomes very visceral in that space about how much energy it takes to talk bullshit to ourselves. It really does. So, yeah, that's just the sweat lodge experience. One thing that I experienced there. Yeah, and then just the last couple of weeks, just spent a lot of time on my own, just reflecting a lot, as I say. So I would like to pick a card for us. I haven't picked a card for a while, so I'm going to pick a card from this pack, and I'm just going to blow my nose. Okay. So let's pick a card and see what card wants to come through. Before I do that, actually, I just remembered I wanted to say something else. I also created my first smudge fan, medicine smudge fan, which is, ta-da! There we go. Yeah, actually, I could use that. But yeah, that was another thing I've done, which I really, really enjoyed this process, and I want to make loads more and kind of just get really creative with all the things that I find on the beach, just to use as medicine tools, you know. But I'm really proud of that. It's owl feathers. It's a wing of an owl. So yeah, I feel really proud of that. Really, really proud of that. Okay, so card. What is the message from those beyond this world from beyond this world into this world? What do they want to tell us? All those watching this. It's a helpful message for all those watching this. Helpful word. What are we stepping into? What are we stepping into right now? What are we stepping into right now? Give us a word that's going to help us to, whoops, there we go. Oh, you're not going to believe the word. You are going to believe the word. Okay, so I was talking about the mystic, but I thought that was just for me. But maybe there's something here for you around, are you honoring the mystic within you? Are you honoring that part of you that connects to other worlds, that part of you that connects to your God, your universe, your angels, your guides? What are you doing? Are you sitting in ceremony? Are you sitting in prayer? Do you sing? Do you drum? Do you meditate? What are you doing to honor the mystery, to honor the deep feminine, to honor being? We are doing so much in this world. And I think that we place a lot of expectations on ourselves to achieve and to get somewhere and to produce and to create. And it's time for you to give yourself permission to drop into the part of you that knows how to just be, that childlike part as well. You know, the mystic is also very connected to the child. The child knows how to play. They know how to just be, you know. And through playing and just being, there is massive opportunity and potential within that space to amplify your gifts, to amplify your sense of connection in the world, not just to this world, but connection to other worlds as well. And there's a vast array of richness there for you to receive and to allow to support you. You know, receive support, but connect in with how you experience the mystic. This is a very important message for everybody watching this. So yeah. yeah, she's she wants to return, she wants to return. I'd be interested to hear from you in the comments what that means for you and how you do honor the more mystical parts of your life. Yeah, is there anything else to say? I don't think so. I think that was it. I just wanted to check in and share a message that's come through, check in, let you know where I'm at, and I'll connect with you again when I feel the flow. Sending lots of love. Bye for now.